So Border Patrol agents carry out an immigration enforcement operation yesterday in L.A. It happened right outside a rally held by Governor Gavin Newsom. At least one person was arrested. After it took place, Democrats had plenty to say. And joining us now is Greg Bovino from the U.S. Border Patrol, who is El Centro Sector Chief. It's great to have you here. Let me play for you from Governor Newsom, who was very frustrated about the timing of all this. Watch.
And right outside, at this exact moment, are dozens and dozens of ICE agents. Donald Trump, you think it's coincidental? No. Donald Trump and his minions, Tom Homan, tough guy, clearly decided, coincidentally or not, that this was a location to advance ICE arrests. Indiscriminate? Perhaps. We'll find out later.
Sir, did you purposely target the governor's rally in order to have a show of force there?
Well, good morning, Dana, and thank you for having me. We absolutely targeted all of Los Angeles yesterday. We had 40 law enforcement teams spread across Los Angeles going after those bad people and bad things. When we talk about targeting, what the governor perhaps is not saying here is just a couple of blocks away from where we were, a Tren de Aragua gang member, a suspected Tren de Aragua gang member was apprehended. And that's very important, Dana, because does the governor or Mayor Bass, when they have these meltdowns, these tantrums like that, do they want those individuals walking the streets? You know, I see a lot of outrage there from the governor, you know, when he talks about these ICE raids, and we're actually Border Patrol out there yesterday, not ICE. So a lot of outrage there. Where's the outrage, Dana, when there are Tren de Aragua members walking with impunity on the streets of Los Angeles, or child rapists, or a whole litany of other bad people and bad things, bad criminals walking those streets of Los Angeles? Where's the outrage? Where's the outrage there?
Yeah, were you looking for that Tren de Aragua member? Did you have intelligence that he was going to be there?
Absolutely. Our officers did have intelligence that the Tren de Aragua, the suspected Tren de Aragua member, was going to be in that area. They went after him and they apprehended him. That's what we do 24/7 here in Los Angeles. We have hundreds of law enforcement officers conducting that mission every day in Los Angeles. I know the governor said the time and the location. Well, Dana, the time is every time and the location is everywhere. That location is going to be where we think we need to go, anywhere, anytime, to effectively conduct that mission. You're seeing that in Los Angeles. You're seeing that in Washington, D.C. You're seeing that all over America, and it's making our streets safer and our communities safer places.
In the net sound that we played at the very top, there's an unidentified woman in the background saying, "What are you doing? These people are working." One of the things that DHS put out yesterday is some numbers from CIS, that's a third-party group, that says that 1.6 million illegal immigrants have left or been booted from the U.S. since Trump's inauguration. Obviously, that's a very big number. You can see here the difference between the Biden and the Trump administration in terms of just encounters. Do you think 1.6 million sounds about right? And do you know how many of those would have had criminal backgrounds or records, as opposed to people who, well, I know everybody breaks the law, like if you overstay your visa, but those with criminal records?
Sure. Dana, 1.6 million, that's quite a number. 200 days into the administration and 1.6 million have already left this country. That's astounding. We've got a lot more to remove from the country, but 1.6 million, that's a lot. I know that when we arrest individuals here with Operation at Large nationwide, 70% of those have some type of a criminal and or significant immigration history. So we're getting a lot of very bad people off the streets.
How many more do you think you can remove before the end of the year?
Dana, as we ramp up operations in places like Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., and other locales, I think you're going to see the use of that CBP Home app. As you know, that pays $1,000 and a free plane ticket for illegal aliens to go back to their home country. So I think you're going to see a lot greater use of that CBP Home app. Tens of thousands have already used it. That's part of that 1.6 million. Tens of thousands already. But as they see us in these cities along the border, and they understand that what's happened over the past 4 years with that unmitigated immigration is not going to happen anymore, I think you're going to see a lot more people making that decision to leave and do it the right way. That's all we're asking. Leave, do it the right way. If you want your documents, you can get your documents. You've got to do it the right way.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.